Hello, everybody. We're going to go to Washington.
What's your name, please?
Vanessa Slavic.
Thank you, Ms. Slavic. Go ahead, counsel.
I'm sorry, this person was not on my list. I just had two people. I had Maloto and Davies, so I was not aware of this individual. I've not spoken to them.
How would you like to proceed, Ms. Alt?
I guess if we can, I don't know if the court can put me in the breakout room or if I can take Mr. Davies and then call the jail.
We can put you in a breakout room. We have a matter we could handle in the courtroom in the meantime.
That's fine.
Right. What's ready in the courtroom?
You gotta keep it
Here.
Here, Ms. Alt?
Yes.
Thank you. Are we ready on Ms. Slavic's?
Yes.
All right, let me just get to that calendar, please. All right, go right ahead, Ms. Alt.
Yeah, my understanding is that she is here on two issues, law-abiding behavior violation, as well as no proof of community service.
Okay, and Mr. Gunderson.
That is correct, Your Honor. To provide some additional insight, if it please the court, this is a case, these cases resolved all the way back in June 2021. Conditions of sentence were relatively limited in that they included maintenance of law-abiding behavior, appearance at hearings, and as was noted by opposing counsel, that the defendant complete 30 hours community service. We've had several hearings since then. Most of them, the defendant has failed to appear at. To the best of the city's knowledge, this defendant has never completed those community service hours. Additionally, there are new felony convictions. It's the city's belief that the defendant is in violation of conditions of sentence. And I'm prepared to make an appropriate sanction recommendation.
Any response?
My client was in a pretty bad domestic violence situation recently. She was still in that situation at the time. She's actually the one that called to set the last warrant quash hearing, and she ended up missing it just because of the living situation she was in. She's currently doing a lot better. She's been working with the agency REST. She has housing through them. She's going to therapy through them. She's also doing outpatient treatment with Center for Human Services. She has a full-time job now and is working at Sherry's. Actually, she's a little stressed out right now because no one knows where she is and she hasn't been able to call in for her job. She also has pets that are left at her home at this time. She indicated to me that she did complete those community service hours and they were with the agency REST. She does have a letter. It's on her phone. As soon as she has access to her phone, she can email that to the court. So given the situation that she was in and that she has done a great deal to get herself out of that situation and is taking the right steps right now as far as therapy and treatment and working full-time, I would ask that the court give her an opportunity to provide that letter regarding the community service hours so that she can get back to her job and have a chance to get that file with the court. And if the court would like to impose some sort of sanction for the law-abiding behavior violation, would ask that that sanction be something like additional community service hours, so that she doesn't have to miss any work with any further in-custody time.
When did she complete these community service hours?
Ms. Slavic, when did you get those completed?
I completed the community service hours last year, but I was on house arrest when I had my review last year, and so I couldn't get the house arrest to allow me to show up at that hearing. They said absolutely not. Those weren't one of the approved places. So I've had the community service hours done since last year.
When last year?
Since June of last year. Since I want to say even May of last year.
So let me confirm best mailing address. I have a mailing address. Yes. So the difficulty here for where we're at right now is what is before me is no proof. of community service hours. 30 hours is what? 4 days?
Yeah. I understand.
Ms. Alt, how much credit does she have right now?
I am not sure.
Okay.
She was
Um,
booked on the first, Your Honor.
I've been here for 4 days. I got booked in on Friday night.
Mr. Gunderson.
Thank you, Your Honor. As was noted, these cases were resolved back in June 2021. Again, conditions of sentence were fairly limited. To make a more accurate record, Your Honor, there was a review hearing scheduled December 23rd, 2021 for a defendant to appear and provide proof of those hours. She failed to appear. She was seen in custody January 7th, 2022 and released to reappear with proof of community service. Failed to appear April 7th, 2022. Another warrant was issued. She did appear April 27th, 2023 after contacting the court. Still had no proof of community service. Court set a follow-up hearing July 13th, 2023 for proof of those hours. She failed to appear. Called again, failed to appear for a follow-up review hearing April 18th of this year. Your Honor, it's the city's position that she is in violation of conditions of sentence because we don't have proof of those hours. Additionally, it's the city's position she's in violation of conditions of sentence due to the fact that there is that new criminal conviction. I'd ask that the court consider a sanction of 30 days jail and close these cases. Thank you.
And Your Honor, if I may interject, those.
On just a moment, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Alt, do you want to your client to speak, or how do you want to handle that?
Yeah, I'm fine if she would like to add something.
Go ahead, Ms. Slavic.
So I was in custody from December 5th of 2021 December 5th of 2021 to March 23rd of 2022. I was in custody. I was in custody. So if there are court dates that I missed during that time, that would be because I was in custody.
That's for the case where the King County the King
Correct.
County case of unsafe storage of a firearm and reckless endangerment.
Correct.
Okay. So, all right. So I think you can understand how it's not terribly persuasive to me that you could not complete your community service because you'd been out committing another crime. Right?
I understand.
That's not terribly persuasive as a reason. What I'm hearing is that last June 2023, you had proof of having committed this community service, but last July of 2023, you failed to appear July 13th.
I understand.
I'm not asking anymore, Ms. Slavic, I'm telling.
I know I was.
July 14th, or let's see, bench warrant issues and no call until this year in March. You set the hearing. You didn't show up for the hearing. The warrant is served. And now you're before us. What I see is a lot of promises to do the community service and claims that there's a letter that you could have given to the court as early as June of last year, but just didn't. And what I'm also hearing is I wasn't in court because I was committing crimes. So none of that is fair. I am not asking, I'm telling. So I'm not terribly persuaded by any of that. What I'll tell you is this. I'm going to convert the 30 hours to 4 days because there's still to this day no proof that it is completed. So I cannot find that it has been completed. I'm also going to double that to 8 days and credit for time served of 4 days, which means you'll do an additional 4 days sentenced, and then we're going to close the file because it doesn't look like anything's happening on this case. Looks like there's a lot of other stuff out there. I see a lot of other orders and other courts can follow them. And I'll just say, continue to ignore your orders, continue to not comply with court conditions, and we're gonna see again, and that's what's gonna happen. So, but I hope that doesn't happen, to be honest. I hope you don't continue to ignore your court responsibilities, okay? I'm going to fill out the order at this time. The way I've phrased that, Ms. Alt, is that I have removed the community service requirement and imposed 8 days credit for 4 days served. Please review my order and see if, and sign if appropriate, please.
I'm just dealing with the same slow, courts issue.
It's
so
okay,
I'm
I
trying to move
know.
on there. Hopefully that went through.
Has been, thank you. Okay, that concludes this matter. Best of luck, Mr. Slavic, or Ms., I'm sorry, Ms. Slavic.
Yeah, he is not the one to play with. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.